time management hacks for the holiday season. We all have a lot of things that are coming up really, really quickly. And a lot of times people's stress and anxiety really skyrockets during this time of year because there is so much to do. There are so many new things on our plate. There are so many outside demands coming for us. Our last video that we dropped last Monday was about autumn anxiety. It was about anxiety during this time of year. So if you do have anxiety, check that out. But after you finish watching this, I'm going to give you 4 time management hacks that can help you get through this holiday season, all November, all December, and maybe they can even feed a little bit of your time management habits the rest of the year. And these 4 hacks will keep you calm, cool, collected, and keeping anxiety at bay. If that sounds good, give me a thumbs up on this video. And before we get started, check to see if you're a subscriber here. And if not, click that subscribe button and the little bell so that you'll get notifications when we drop videos like this, which we do all the time, to help you live a lower stress, more successful life. See you in a second.
GILD Coaching. More success, less stress.
One of my favorite things to teach is time management. And I know you might think like, yawn, that's not an exciting topic. And it's really not until you show people how important time management is to your health, to making sure that your stress level is low, that you don't get overwhelmed by anxiety, by showing you how much time there is for you. So this video is exciting to me because you're still with me and you're interested in these time management hacks. Now, my whole goal for time management is to make sure that you have the things in your calendar, on your schedule first, that are firstly important to you. So that would be, or firstly important for you, that would be your self-care. That would be making sure that you have everything that you need to be healthy, that your family is taken care of, and that you have that quality fulfillment time. Okay, so that's my number one goal for you. Doesn't that sound nice? Somebody wants you to come first for once. All right, so that's my goal. And I'm gonna show you today, there's 4 hacks. I'd love for you to take notes if you can. If you don't have anything to take notes with, you can always open up the comment section here and use your thumbs and take notes there, or all your fingers if you're watching this on a computer. Okay, so definitely take notes. It helps solidify your learning. All right, hack number 1, map out your workload. And I'm not just talking about your workload with your professional life. I'm talking map out your workload. And this is not just a holiday hack. This is just what I have any of my time management students and my mentees do anyway. So map out your personal, actually put your personal on there first, because frankly, it's more important, and your professional workload. And then I want you to categorize everything into 3 categories, especially during the holidays: urgent or time-bound. You've made a commitment, you've made a promise to get something to someone by a certain date, or you have an imposed deadline. So I would say that would be urgent, time-bound. That's the first category. The second category is non-urgent, but important. So it's like it's not really time-bound, nobody's pressing on me for it, nobody's life depends on it, but it's important for me to get this done. And then the third category is miscellaneous. So miscellaneous tasks. A miscellaneous task may be wrapping your holiday gifts. Usually people will call that a miscellaneous task until it becomes a time-bound task. So anything that's in that miscellaneous category that eventually is going to become time-bound, you might want to put a little star by and reevaluate if it's in the miscellaneous category. So map out everything. And what I mean is do what I call a brain dump. Sit down, block off 30 minutes in your calendar, sit down with a pen and a blank sheet of paper and write every single thing that you got to do. Just right now, prepping your Thanksgiving turkey, just like every single thing that you're going to have to do, every minute little thing. And it sounds like that would be overwhelming, but actually when you get it down on paper, it gives you the opportunity to read it, look, and go, all right, well, these things can be coupled together and these things can be clustered and this can be grouped. And then it allows you to have more freedom to go about your business because when you put it down on paper like that, it starts to make more sense to your brain. When it's all up here swirling around, that's when overwhelm is a big issue. So do your brain dump, write down every single thing and go through, put it in those 3 categories, and then just leave it for a second, because I'll tell you what to do with it. What to do with it is hack number 3. So we'll get there, but right now, hack number 2. There's so many events. There's so many things going on, and many of us feel like we have to do it all. Would you like to know a secret, my dear? You do not have to do it all. Choose very carefully what you are going to do and what you aren't going to do. When I tell people this, they have argued with me and said, but I have to do this family thing. I have to do this. I have to do this thing because this person wants me to. No, that person's priority is that you do this. Sounds like it's not your priority. Sounds like you're trying to be a people pleaser, and it's the other person's priority that you take part in this event. So I'll tell you one thing right now. We have done away with feeling beholden to showing up at the huge family gathering. That's actually not that fun, because there's way too many people and you don't get any really good, deep conversations. And instead we break that up and we intentionally spend time with different family members during the holiday season. But we don't do that huge gathering anymore. Did people like it at first when we drew that boundary? No. Did people get used to it? Yes, they totally did. So just because it's the way that it's always been doesn't mean that you have to say yes to it. You can draw a boundary there. You can change. You can make your own new tradition. About 10 years ago, I started renting a house at the beach every Christmas, so that without fail, every Christmas, that's where we were going to be. If people wanted to be at the beach with us, come on, we've got a whole house. If people wanted to go about their regular Christmas, my family celebrates Christmas, obviously, but go about their regular Christmas tradition, that's fantastic. We're not poo-pooing it. We're not saying that we don't necessarily want to be part of it. We're just saying that we're choosing something different that brings us more peace and joy, and we'll see you at another time. It's great. Did they like it at first? Meh. No. Especially the older members of the family? No, they were not big fans. Did they get over it? Looks like it. So choose the events very carefully. Learn to say no. Check out the description of this video. I have a whole guide how to say no without saying no. You can download that. And it's just, I've scripted out some different ways that you can decline things without actually using the word no. A lot of people seem to be a little bit allergic to that word, so that hopefully clears that up for you. Choose carefully and say no. It's fine. Just say no kindly. You know, as long as you're a kind person when you deliver the regrets for not going, everything will be fine. Okay, so your first time hack, you have this huge list now with the 3 categories. Check out your screen. Look at your screen. You are going to be time blocking your calendar. And this is what I mean by time blocking your calendar. Literally, you're going to put blocks all over your calendar. And I know you might look at this calendar and be like, I can't do that. There has to be some holes. There has to be some, you know, the deal with these calendars is when you make these appointments, you can either have them show as busy or available time. So you can actually put things on your calendar and still have it as available so that people can still book things there. I do that for my client calls. I have certain times of days and certain days of weeks that I will accept client calls. And so I have a big block there, but it says available. So my calendar service will schedule in the middle of that time. It looks like it's overbooking, but it's not, because I've blocked that off as available. Time block. When you time block, make sure you add in some padding for catch up, because there are going to be some things that are going to fall through the cracks. And if you've already added in catch up time or time to look through the cracks and find the things that have fallen through, if you've already scheduled that, then when you figure out those things that have fallen through the cracks, they won't completely overwhelm you. Okay, so that's what I mean by time blocking your calendar. Now, in our bigger time management course called Freedom by Design, if you want more information on that, again, check out the video description here because there's a link to it. You can go and check it out. You can do a self-study for just a couple $100, or if you want to be coached through it, it's just a little bit more than that for us to work through it with you. But we can really, really help you get a handle on your calendar so it can work just this smoothly all year round. One thing that I tell all of our time management clients and my private mentee clients is that you need to put your personal stuff on your calendar before your professional stuff, because that professional stuff is going to get on there, but your personal stuff is usually the stuff that slips through the cracks. And just a note, in 10, 15, 20 years, the only people who are going to remember that you worked overtime all the time are your family members, your kids, your husband, maybe your dog. Who was alone at home while you were working, okay? So just keep that in mind when you're like, I can't put my personal stuff on the calendar first. Yeah, you can. It's your calendar. You can do whatever you want to with it. All right, checking out my notes. Oh, fourth one. This is great. This is all about communication. So hack number 4, go ahead now, and this is especially true if you have a significant other, spouse, children, okay? It's also especially true if you work with other people professionally in an office, or even if you guys are all remote, whatever. Set expectations and communicate them. I'm always saying today's expectations are tomorrow's disappointments. And the reason that I say that is usually when people set expectations, they don't communicate them, but you're going to communicate yours. All right. So you want to know, what time off does everybody have? If it's kids, what holiday events do they have that they want to go to? If it's spouse, what holiday events does that person have? What business trips, vacations, and go ahead and block that time out. Now, if you're talking about doing this in an office setting, you're going to want to make sure that each person's time off around the holidays doesn't weigh down or strap down other people who are picking up that person's slack. So you're going to want to be very, very kind when it comes to handing down work or distributing the additional tasks if that is applicable. Okay, so first, what's everybody's bandwidth? What can they handle? What do they already have on their plate? Does anybody need help with anything? What can we do? Can we be very, very liberal with our expectations for response time on emails? Can we loosen some deadlines here and there? Are there certain things that we can do in that regard? And then also, what is their capacity to accept additional things that come along? Because they're going to come along, either work or personal. All of a sudden, your spouse may come home and say, oh, there's this really special thing tomorrow night and I completely forgot to tell you, but there's already something tomorrow night, and competing events. What is your capacity to handle the unknown? What is your coworker's capacity to handle the unknown? What about your kids going through exams in school and this and that? So evaluate their bandwidth, their capacity, evaluate their flexibility, their willingness to kind of bend, and then set expectations based on all of that. Communicate the expectations, get feedback about your communication, see how they feel about it, and just work together. So those are 4 time hacks that can really save your mind, your body, your level of nervousness, your nervous energy, your stress level. They can really, really save you, especially during the holiday season. If this video is any help to you, go ahead and give me that thumbs up. And if you didn't before, please click the subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber, and click that little bell so that you learn when we drop videos like this to help you live a lower stress life. See you next time.